Good morning, everybody. It's time for me to warm up, and Mike will be jumping on here in a couple seconds. So while we're waiting for Mike, I'm going to go ahead and play a silly song.
Live with Brent and Mike!
Oops. Apparently I forgot to turn on the bring on a guest feature. My fault.
All good. I'm a nerd.
You've now graduated to nerddom.
I am. I was just having a conversation with a friend, a guy by the name of John Williams. If you're not familiar with him, check him out. I see there's a couple people in the stream. As cool as I thought the stuff I'm building on this M1 MacBook Pro. I'm literally working with like sticks and stones and just trying to figure out how do I use those to do. He's already figured out the wheel, and like has moved on to that stage of evolution or development. Actually, I'd say it's probably even further. He might even be at like horse and buggy type thing, and they're starting to think about, what does a steam engine look like? But yeah,
How can we go to the moon?
It's awesome. Like it's awesome when you talk with people who are really excited about the tech. And the coolest thing about the conversation is one of the things he highlighted was the importance of acceptable use policies and all of that other kind of stuff. And we've been talking about the governance piece. And I just told him, I said, I don't even think about that kind of stuff. Like just, let's just go.
One thing at a time, people. One thing at a time.
It was awesome. It was just so it's cool. It's cool to see people who are really starting. And these are it's for me, it's cool to see people in the go-to-market space really starting to figure out how to embrace use of technology to move things faster. Yeah. And I know we've talked about this before. And I know I'm coming in really hot and late and all of that other kind of stuff, but we had talked about
it's Thursday. Evolution. You have a meeting before the show, and so you're already warmed up. So you're like, yeah.
Not only did I have one meeting, I had two meetings. I had to leave a meeting to go join this to do this. So you're right. I am already warmed up, and only like one cup of coffee, just because of the timing. So the I think there's a difference between people who are in go-to-market functions. And I'm going to shrink go-to-market down a little bit further and say sales functions. There's a difference between people who are in sales functions and how they attack and approach problems than people in, don't throw hate at me, people in learning and development functions who attack problems. there's just a difference. And you see it. And that's why we created sales enablement way back in 2014 inside 2013 inside at O'Reilly. We created the function, not knowing that somebody else had already created a society and all that other kind of stuff. Anyway, so hey, we're here. I am sorry for running late. My brain is on fire, which is cool. And there are people out there who actually worry about things like acceptable use policies and the importance of open sourcing those policies so that people know can build them and or integrate them into their business. And John, thank you for doing that. Because I don't think about that.
There is like we've talked about before, we've been here, we've done that, we've done these technology transitions, new tech has come along. especially in the L&D industry, because we wait for all the new tech to come along and get adopted before we actually jump in. AI might be a little different, but yeah, once we figure it out, then we're in. But there's also, we don't have a tendency to look at all those other pieces of the puzzle that need to happen. I think we go in with blinders, and maybe one of today's stories will pick up on that. I'm not exactly sure because I haven't looked at the script, despite the fact creating it last night instead of this morning, because yesterday's technology panic was more than I could handle, and things started going wonky this morning, despite the fact that I had everything all prepped and ready to go last night. So, tech is one of those things.
Tech is one of those things. I'm working on getting into my stuff so that I can actually see the script. What do you, let's see what's going on here.
I do want to say hi to everybody who's watching today. I know there's a lot more than normal. There's been a few folks reaching out. We've got new folks in the Slack. For those of you that are new that have not heard about the Slack channel, if you want to hang out with us and talk about this stuff and how we build the show using AI and an executive producer, and also talk about the news of the day, give us a shout out at livewithbrentandmike.com. There, I did your bit.
Did you see the thank you. Did you see the news or that tweet from, I guess they call it posts. I still want to call it tweets. Like I mean everything is what I remember calling it from before. So
yeah.
Whatever. But did you see the post from one of the original co-founders of Udemy?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you sent that to me. And I actually was I read through the whole thing. It was fascinating.
Absolutely fascinating.
It was longer than I thought it was going to be, but yeah, I took the time.
Just given that it is Thursday and this is our last show of the week, if we've got some time, I think it'd be interesting to kind of to talk through it, and because it's a different perspective of a part of the industry part of business that I really appreciate and enjoy, and was fortunate to kind of grow up in back in the 2000s and see some of the things happen there, but also start to see the importance of how history continues to repeat itself. And so anyway, hang on for that conversation, because that is going to be a good conversation if we get there, and I'm going to do my best to help us get there.
Well, on that note, let's get started so we can get there. Right. That was a good teaser. Here we go.
It's time for today's headlines.
Well, good morning, learners. I'm Brent, and I've already used generative AI to summarize my breakfast. It was efficient, but lacked texture.
And I'm Mike. I just tried to prompt my coffee machine to give me a latte, and it gave me a 400-page white paper on bean sustainability. We are living in the future, folks. And executive producer, you already used a version of that joke.
Oh, dang it. He's going back to the well. We really are. Let's get into the news. Today's breaking news. Our lead story today is the absolute chaos coming out of the AI sector. Anthropic's co-founders are currently in a public spat because they can't agree on whether their own tech is going to make your employees superhuman or result in a 20% headcount reduction.
Oh shit, that's me. I thought I'd missed my name. I thought you were supposed to laugh and then go on. I was like, that's weird. Laughing. It's like choose your own adventure book from hell, Brent. One co-founder says you have the power of 10 men. The other says you have the power of 10 minutes of unemployment.
Exactly. But here's the kicker for us in L&D. Manpower Group's 2026 Global Talent Barometer shows AI usage is up 13%, but worker confidence in the tech fell by 18%. People are using it, but they're terrified of it.
So if you're an L&D pro, your job is not just teaching people how to write a prompt. It's basically being a corporate therapist. It's okay. The robot won't take your job unless you stop watching my compliance videos.
It's time for technology and innovation.
Speaking of technology, Pluralsight just dropped a massive update yesterday. They're launching a new AI Sandbox and deep linking their platform into Workday, SuccessFactors, and Cornerstone.
Wait, a sandbox? Is there a plastic shovel included?
Close. It's a safe environment for teams to experiment with agentic AI without accidentally leaking the company's secret sauce to a public LLM. For L&D, this is huge because it shifts us from watch this video to go into this safe room and try not to break the internet.
It's learning in the flow of work, but the flow is now a high-speed AI rapids. Wear a helmet, people.
And now for our human and culture segment.
Deep breath, everybody. Now let's get nerdy. The Milwaukee Neuroscience Retreat just released this agenda for the Molecules to Machine Learning Symposium. They are looking at how AI can actually map neuro-regeneration.
Neuro-regeneration? Is that for when I spend 6 hours in an LMS and my brain cells literally give up and die?
Precisely. They're looking at how machine learning can predict how the brain forms new pathways. For L&D, this is the holy grail. If we can understand the molecular level of how a learner adopts a new skill via AI, we can stop guessing if our micro-learning is working and start knowing.
I'll take 2 neuro-regenerations and a side of dopamine, please.
And now, a random industry with an L&D problem. Solving the L&D problem.
And look, surprise, surprise, it's Pharma that gets picked out today with the problem. So, Mike, get in there and tell us about it.
Randomly, let's look at the pharma industry at Reuters Pharma USA 2026. The big takeaway is generic training is dead. They are now using high fidelity AI avatars of healthcare professionals, HCPs, to train medical science liaisons.
So instead of role playing with Karen from HR, pretending to be a doctor, you're talking to a digital twin of a grumpy cardiologist.
Exactly. These avatars respond based on real world data and proprietary insights. If you give a bad pitch, the avatar actually gets annoyed. It's the ultimate high stakes practice. For L&D, this means the scenario based learning bar just got moved to the moon, Alice.
And now for the news in authoring tools.
Seems like everybody's going to the moon. Let's see if the authoring tools are finally for all you authoring tool junkies. Let's get that screen updated. Adobe just dropped their April 2026 release for Learning Manager and Captivate. They've introduced something called the Fluidic player.
Fluidic? Sounds like something I need to go see a doctor for.
That or it's a boy band. It's actually pretty slick, Mike. It merges the LMS navigation and the Captivate content into one single bar. No more double scroll bars or where the heck is the exit button moments.
Hallelujah. The amount of support tickets that just got deleted because people can finally find the next button is staggering. It also syncs side level completion markers directly to the LMS table of contents in real time.
Well, and it's about time. Now, if only they could make a fluidic way to make my kids finish their chores.
I think we decided we're not going to, well, actually, let's do the joke. So go forth and enable some learning.
And remember, if you can't beat the AI, just tell it you're its supervisor. It works 10% of the time, every time.
That's pretty good. The AI producer tried to go with a movie quote. And a little nod to Anchorman. And I'm already out of coffee, so I'm not going to fake drink. But the producer did a pretty good job today. Like nice work, producer. Nice work, producer.
Nice work to the EP. Yes.
It's Craig says. Craig, as much as I say nice work to the producer, Craig. Wah, 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 says this news is not working right. That has been part of ALM for years. Hey, Craig, I've never seen a situation where people have announced a new product launch where the product had already been inside the system before. I mean, like that kind of stuff never happens. Fluidic player has been okay. Let's go to the source. I think we test the let's test the system. You want to have a little bit of fun with this one?
Oh boy. What do you want to do? What do you
pull up the script?
Read the script?
No, pull up the script and then click on the link for the source material for this Adobe Experience League.
Okay. Got it. Oh, you want me to put it on the screen for everybody else to see too?
Yeah.
Well, dang it. You're putting the pressure on me.
Yeah, I am.
I'm not the producer.
Yeah, Craig, I'll drop the link in Slack right now too. So, and as a reminder, we do have a Slack channel. In the Slack channel, we share both the script. So, Craig, as much as you were looking for the link, you could go back to the transcript that's inside Slack just above where you posted the good morning other chat area, and see it here. So you can actually see the links and the source material that the producer uses to help produce the show. Craig,
I may have shared the Google Doc though in the Slack. He may not have access to that. I don't know.
What's that?
He may not have access to the Google Doc where I put the script today. So
no, he does. You put it. Okay. So for whatever reason, you put he might not be able to open the Google Doc.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah. So that link is in there now. And what I'm reading it for learners, the Fluidic player now, and this is part of their announcement on April 12th. Fluidic player now shows the next module name and clear exit button. Player language can be set via LTI for consistent across platform. Customer parameter is local, accepts the local code, for example, and kind of works through it. So there's something that it did. Maybe it's not that the piece has been added in there, but it added capability to the piece. So
yeah, because the thing
I just caught up with Craig. That's awesome. There's a delay on all of this stuff, and I just caught up with Craig. Delayed in the future. So Craig, there you go. I caught up with you in the future.
All right. Well, I'll dump us back to where we were. Not worry about it. We don't have to prove anything to anybody. We know it was real. When Adobe's release was on, or the press release anyways, was on April 13th. So it wasn't that long ago. The producer actually went, well, let's see, if yesterday was the 13th, 13's allowable because I gave the executive producer some parameters and 2 days works. So 48 hours I gave it. Only give me news that's happened in the last 48 hours. Anyways, all right. So our top story. the absolute chaos coming out of the AI sector. I love the drama we love to create here. Anthropic's co-founders currently in a spat because they can't agree on whether their own tech can make employees superhuman or result in 20% headcount reduction. And, I think I even did hear about that. I saw some posts, people talking about that interview or whatever's going on. But what do you think? Are we superhuman or are we losing jobs?
What makes anybody think we can't be both?
Bingo. I think both's going to happen. Both has already happened.
Yeah.
I think this is the hard, frustrating part about these transitions. As exciting as they are, when you're comfortable in your life and your lifestyle, and getting by, it's fun and exciting, and you've got extra time, so you can learn the new tool and you can dig into it and all that kind of stuff. But for those folks that are out there who are living the other side of what happens during these transitions, we're not minimizing the complexity, the difficulty, and the frustration. It's just an unfortunate part of the reality that comes along with this type of stuff.
I go back to that Intel thing. You own your own employability. And if you take that perspective, it may not necessarily be that you own your own employability at this company that you're currently working at. But what you do is, if you are constantly keeping an eye toward the future and at the same time getting the work done that you need to get done today, you will create more options for yourself when you need those options. If you fall into the trap, and this is the trap I fall into, I get so excited about certain work that I'm doing that I forget about doing some of the other work I need to do.
Yeah, we all fall into that trap. It's not just you.
Yeah.
Every consultant I've ever talked to has said, I love doing the work. I hate having to go out and get new work.
Well, it's not a hate having to go out and get new work. That's not it. It's kind of that ADHD kind of thing that we've talked about before, where you get so caught in. And I've had to say this to Jen recently, multiple times. Look, if I'm not where I need to be, not tap me on the shoulder. Like if we're going to go for a walk at 7:30 in the morning and I'm still stuck here doing some things, remind me, because I lose track of time. Like it just time has no state for me when I'm in certain modes, and it gets worse when I'm tired and when I'm excited and when I'm doing all that other kind of stuff. Right. So you own your own employability, create space to find other options while continuing to do the work that you do. And if there's anything that I hope people take away from what we've done now that we've been doing this for 5 months, we're almost at half a year. We've almost been doing this 6 months. Like we're getting that close to where we've been doing this for half a year. And it's, no one really knows what's next. Nobody can predict the future. Nobody can tell you this is what is going to happen. And anybody who tells you that is either trying to sell you something, for whatever reason, or they're trying to create some level of fear, or they're maybe trying to create some level of comfort because, hey, maybe things aren't really going to change or whatever. Like there's some agenda if they're telling you that they can predict the future. I used to be pretty comfortable about saying, hey, I've got an idea of how markets are going to shift here over the next couple of weeks and months, and maybe even half a year. Right now, I have no idea what's going to happen in the next 3 weeks because the models are changing so quickly. Like and even just the talk about certain models being withheld for certain purposes, like Mythos being withheld and Spud getting ready to move, like all of that kind of stuff is one of those where some people are like, what are you even talking about? It's all Greek to me. There are these models that continue to build on that are being pushed out because the models are building the next model. And that is pretty exciting stuff. So, short version, find things that get you excited about the future and where you can make an impact on others. And if you can make an impact on others and help them be successful, then you can start to figure out, of those things, what do people really value? And if you can figure out what people value, then you can make money, because you can do a fair exchange for value on that side.
Don't let your network go. Massage and maintain your network, and adding value to your network is a big part of that.
Well, but so adding value, what's adding value mean?
Being helpful instead of just constantly asking for something. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Helpful in what context?
Whatever the network needs.
There you
provide content that people like. If that's how you network with your friends, reach out, connect, help them with the things they need help with, whatever.
And I think that's the piece, what they need, not what you think they need, what they need. So go ask your network what they need. All right.
Yeah. So our tech story, Pluralsight. Yeah. Are you familiar with Pluralsight?
I am. I talked to Aaron Sconard a while back, that one of the founders of the business, about potentially joining them at one point in time. And their compensation model was not something I agreed with. They back then, and I don't know if it's changed since then, but they didn't agree with, they weren't fans of variable comp. They wanted everybody to have a base salary. So with a base salary, you don't have the upside. And it's nice to have the stability of what a high base brings. But anyway, so it had a couple of very good conversations with him. And actually the last time I saw him was at an ASU GSV conference back when it was at the Phoenician a number of years ago. And ASU GSV is going on either right now or earlier this week in San Diego. They moved it out to San Diego. So,
yeah, I know some folks out there. I can't remember exactly what the date was, but I've been asked if I was going, but alas, no. So they're launching Pluralsight, that is, launched that new sandbox, and it's deep linking their platform into Workday, SuccessFactors, and Cornerstone. What does that tell you?
What does it tell me?
What are your thoughts, Mike? I haven't even read.
When we used to talk about deep linking back in the day, what it was is we copied the link from the specific page of the book, the digital book that was available inside Safari, and put a copy of that link into the LMS. That was deep linking back in circa 2012.
I think today it just means API calls into the data within your LMS. I think is basically all they're talking about today, which I think is kind of cool. You knew it was bound to happen because that's what's going to make AI great. It needs to be able to pull all of the content from all of the different data sources within your business.
Yeah.
In order for it to train itself on your business, in order for it to learn, and in order for it to stay up to date, and in order for it to answer the questions that people are going to ask in the chat bot version, any agents that you've got being built, things like that, it needs access to the data. And in our world, that data exists in tools like Workday, SuccessFactors, and Cornerstone. And so tools that need data for the AI to work need to be able to dip into these platforms.
Yes. So I think it's good. I think the question that people are gonna but one of the things to be careful with, just as you go through it, is there are going to be some people who are going to say, here's an example of why the tool sucks, because it took this out of context, or it made this poor decision. It's going to make poor decisions. It's going to take things out of context. It's going to, what I think the cool kids call it. It's going to hallucinate in the way that it interprets stuff. And a lot of it is functionally driven by the quality of the data you're putting into the system. So here's an example of bad data. And we both just did the same thing. In the Slack channel. Here's the one of the challenges with bad data. It exists, and it will exist because somebody decided to change the name of a field or add a new field to do the same thing, or didn't combine two fields to do the same thing. So I think it's great to do it, and I think it's good that this is part of the evolution. And I expect more of it. At the same time, you continue to check your work. So you're going to have to pay the verification tax. It's going to speed things up, but you're going to have to pay the verification tax. Trust but verify.
That's right. The tax. I keep forgetting about this.
So both of us showing how responsive we are to messages that show up both in the chat. And if you're not seeing your comments in the chat screen in the live feed, it's because all the comments are on the YouTube channel. And what we found is that just creates a better experience. You actually get points for the comments that you make. So you get to move up and you can be rated. And I'd like to see someone rated higher than Craig. So that's my goal next week, is to see Craig move out of the number 1 spot. See who the person is that moves Craig out of the number 1 spot.
This is where you can see that can only be one, or that can be only one.
Hey, did they're remaking Highlander? Have you seen that?
I know. I hope they don't ruin it.
It's such a good, what do they call it? Cult classic.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And now I'm starting to get really bummed out. Craig said, "Yeah, this is a misread by the producer. Makes me question the validity of the script."
No!
Don't ever question the validity of the executive producer, Craig. Dang it, that's just not nice.
Craig has already started referring to himself in the first person. Uh-oh. Have we jumped the shark? We're just getting started. There's no shark jumping. Removes the credibility of the producer.
Well, what is there a short answer you could drop into the comments on where the producer got it wrong, or is it more complex than that? This is an interesting point that he's making, though, too, because it's
the introduced something called the Fluidic player. And what he's basically saying is Fluidic player has already been around. So the producer could have gone through and said, hey, it's not introducing it, they enhance.
That's how I interpreted it, that it was that they updated it. Am I wrong? I mean, maybe I need to go back and redo it. Yeah, so it says Adobe just dropped their April 2026 release for Learning Manager and Captivate.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it says they've introduced something called the Fluidic player, even though it's already been out. Okay, so but in actuality, it's been out for a while. They just updated.
They updated it. They enhanced it. They added some new things to it. So
okay, so it did kind of screw that up. Yeah. But maybe it's the content that it's sucked in. Maybe if we go back and we read the link, maybe whoever wrote that article was not clear.
I mean, it's pretty clear. The Fluidic player now shows, so now meaning today, shows this. It does not say the Fluidic player originally launched in 1986,
Yeah.
and like it didn't go through that piece. I'm gonna give the producer a pass, and I'm actually gonna give it a couple of points because it actually turned into something that created a conversation.
Indeed, it was teasing us. It forced us to talk about it, and
It did.
and you know what we just did right there? We just paid the review tax or whatever we're calling it. The you have to check AI's work tax.
And if you want to see Craig's unfiltered comments, join the Slack channel live and Brent at livewithbrentandmike.com, and you can actually see. We going forward, we will call him the one, maybe Neo every once in a while, but you can see Craig's comments there.
I miss Wendy. She has not dropped into the chat in a while, so I hope everything's okay and she's just not overwhelmed with work. But I'm anticipating, if there are other people just watching, you might be watching on the LinkedIn channel, or jump on over to YouTube and drop a comment into YouTube and let us know you're here, or drop a comment into LinkedIn. Mike's monitoring that, but it just doesn't show up in the system. That's all. So, all right, let's go back.
Mike.com.
Let's go back. Were we still talking about the first one? Are we at the tech and innovation? Oh no, we were talking about the AI Sandbox. That was our tech and innovation. The human and culture segment, the Milwaukee Neuroscience Research Retreat. That's right. They were talking about molecules to machine learning symposium, where they're learning how to map neuro-regeneration. They're looking at how machine learning can predict how the brain forms new pathways. And so this is the holy grail for L&D, according to the executive producer. Well, at least according to what the executive producer has been trained to think. What do you think? Holy Grail-ish time?
I don't know. I mean,
did you see the post I did where the image was a Knights Templar holding the Holy Grail?
No, I did not.
Oh, it was good. I got to tell you, folks, if you're not playing around with AI, having a good time, you're just missing out on being able to not only visualize what you're thinking, but create music that represents what you're thinking or what you're trying to express. I mean, it's just amazing.
I only did 2 of them, but I did kind of a name that tune image. Did you see I did I do 2? I did 3 of them. One of them was Don't Stop Believing. The second one was Cheeseburger in Paradise, and the third one.
You did that after we had the conversation about that. Yeah,
right. Yeah, that was it. That's what prompted it. That was the thing. Yeah. Hey, spoiler alert: prompts are not new, but that's what prompted it. That was the thing. That was the catalyst for going. When I went through the one that I did that nobody had answered, and I don't know if it just isn't showing up on LinkedIn or whatever, but I did Enter Sandman too. And I had a little background it's a weird looking image. It's like a kid in bed. It's in the background, you can see the Master of Puppets album art kind of faded out in the background. So anyway, check that out.
I'm trying to find the night. It was such a great image. I don't know where I put it.
It's so cool. And I think I wonder, one of the things I'm kind of wondering is now that LinkedIn is giving credit for AI created images, right? You're seeing that pop up now. So like if your image has a Gemini icon in it, there'll be a node, it looks kind of like a pin on a map. A note that says CR, and basically it's a credit release where it provides credit to the AI that created it. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing.
So do I.
Yeah, you got to be able to track where you get all that stuff from.
Yeah. I used to put my prompts in there primarily to highlight although I'm wasting tokens because of this, but primarily the way
waster.
to highlight. I'm a token waster. I didn't grow up in the Depression. No, Jen's dad used to save aluminum foil, like reuse aluminum foil.
You mean you're not supposed to do that? You mean I've been doing it wrong all this time?
Yeah. Don't let anybody tell you you're doing it wrong. I mean, unless you're going through the pickup line at elementary school and going the wrong way, like Michael Keaton did that one time.
Yeah, I've seen that bit. Oh, I don't know why I'm obsessing about this image. It's distracting me from the things we're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah.
So. All right, I'm moving on. I'm moving back to where we're going. Let's move on to the next story.
Reuses aluminum foil? Man. All right, so 2/3 of the people on this in this part of the conversation reuse aluminum foil.
Well, let me rephrase. I would, but my wife won't let me.
Good. Good on Linda.
Just like I like to keep all the Amazon boxes. She doesn't let me.
I wonder, what? That should be in a personality assessment.
Some of them, some of those boxes that stuff gets shipped in, it's a nice, thick, corrugated cardboard. It's, you can use it for, packing stuff. And, there's always
use it for storing a bunch of stuff in boxes that you're never going to look at again. And then
there's always comes a time when you need a box. You always need a box for something, especially those little A1 boxes that Amazon ships you, the little things that you order. Oh yeah, I've come to know all of the Amazon codes for the different box sizes. My name is Brent, and I have a box collecting problem.
Yes.
All right, we had to talk about Pharma today because I was stunned and amazed that the executive producer randomly chose Pharma as the industry to talk about.
Well, I was really happy that they chose manufacturing yesterday, but here we go, Pharma.
There just isn't as much to talk about. There's more. Apparently, maybe Pharma has better marketing folks.
Potentially.
There's more and cooler stuff going on in Pharma than in any other industry, apparently. So I could force it to, do a different one, but oh well. Reuters says Pharma that generic training is dead. I think we've already killed that product or whatever. If we generic training, I don't know what they mean by that. If they mean like off the shelf training, I don't think that's going to die anytime soon because people are still buying it. So as long as there's a compliance and a legal need for people to take those generic courses and the company's already purchased them, I don't think there's any executive anywhere going, what we really need to do is cancel that subscription to all that library of 5,000 courses and custom build all of the other ones. I don't think that's happening.
Is generic training dead, or are we using it as ingredients?
There you go. That's what we should be doing. That's the future. I actually put that in one of the posts, right? Like anything that's content, including the stuff that we've already created, becomes content, and it becomes the beginning of the process in our world, as opposed to we're building and updating content to be at the beginning, and the AI consumes it, and the AI pushes out the final product, as opposed to us creating a final product based on all the other content that exists. That is my hypothesis for the future of AI in L&D. So far, I've not been proven wrong, and nobody has argued me. So that means I'm right.
Well, I'm happy to argue. Hey, on and we all go through different seasons where we've got to save more and do different things. And there's different choices on how we choose to save, and whether or not you save by reusing aluminum foil or go getting glass containers. There's a couple of different ways to go through the process. So there you go. A lot of this stuff hits home. Way back when, one of the ways that I used to eat when I was at ASU, I would make pasta in the kitchen because it was the only thing that wasn't locked up in the fraternity house. And then I would put taco sauce from the taco place on over there on University on top of it. So there you go. You go through different stages. I want to get into this Udemy thing.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So, Gagan Bignani, one of the co-founders of Udemy, posted a pretty long piece, and I don't think I can
find
share
some references while you're keying it up. I'll see what I can find.
So if I hit share, can you take what I just put in the screen and put it in there?
We haven't done this yet, so I might have to. It might take
we're
a
testing.
minute or two, but I should be able to. Where
we're
make
going,
happen.
We don't need roads.
We don't need roads.
Anyhow, he went in there and he said, look, we took on some money. Short version of this, I would just, I'll add the link into the Slack channel. Short version, we took on some money. When we took on some money, we gave up some control. We then had to move, work or build in the context of what somebody else was interested in. Different people had different agendas. The different agendas impacted the ability for the company to be able to innovate from the perspective of the founder's view. They may have innovated in different ways, shapes, and forms. And I know a number of people who worked inside both of these organizations as they started to go after this segment of the market. They worked in there as they started to open up B2B on the enterprise side.
What's the high level big takeaway, and then let's strip it down into what
the high level big takeaway, and this is what I think here is.
I mean, if we set the stage on this, basically this is a reflection of a guy that started a company that it got bought out by.
They took didn't get bought out. They took on investment. They made
private equity came on board, kind of took over. They brought in their own CEO, kicked out the founders, and now he's commenting on the merger between his company that he founded but is no longer a part of, and it being merged with another company. So he was with Udemy the whole Udemy Coursera merger. That was like one of the very first stories that showed up in the breaking news of this show, I believe. Feels like it anyways.
It was. And this gets into the whole mergers and mergers that are going to happen inside this space, and this consolidation that was going to continue to happen in this space. And it will happen. It will continue to happen. The takeaway though is, I think, is this perspective right here. And just take some time and read it. So on B2B, Coursera needs to help L&D become the heroes of the AI era so that the entire market starts growing again. On B2C, they need to build the most educational AI product on the planet. I'd focus on the former, since the latter is a lot harder and riskier. So it's cool to see people operate and think through things, both in the context of B2C and B2B. My view, my perspective, and I've been around for a while. I don't have as much gray hair as Brent, but I've been around for a while. My perspective is the primary difference between B2C and B2B is that in B2B, you're buying on behalf of others. So you have to make, you're a steward of money and the investment that's being made. And you're doing that ideally for the good of the organization, the other people that you serve inside the business, not for yourself. On the B2C side, you're doing it for yourself. So even inside a family, that can be a B2B purchase. When your mom goes out and buys whatever, or dad goes out and buys whatever, or mom and dad go out and buy whatever the thing is, put the play set in the backyard. That's an investment that you're making in hoping that the kids have something fun to do to take their time away and start to build some athletic capability and not constantly fall off the swing set and break their arms, right? Like so you make certain investments. In B2B, you're making investments and representing other people. In B2C, you're representing yourself. And then through that, there's two different perspectives. Now, ultimately, even when working in B2B, you're talking with people, individuals who are making choices. I think this is pretty powerful when it starts talking about how a company can help people in a market be the thing that they want to be or need to be in the future to help move businesses forward, which gets into this whole L&D are the architects of the future. L&D are the orchestrators of the future. L&D needs to have a seat at the table. L&D, 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 whatever the thing is. And the way that I was successful as an enterprise rep at Skillsoft and then again at O'Reilly is I helped my customers, the people I worked with, communicate with other segments of the business. You've been around, like, you know, the people that were over at Intel U way back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Right? How much did they enjoy talking to the people in the other business groups?
Yeah, not at all. Yeah.
Why did they not like talking to the other people in the business groups?
It's just they would always, just no need, unless there was a project where they had to.
So they had to order. So, hey, don't be an order taker, but when there's a project and you have to, then be an order taker, right? But there was a benefit to going in and talking with the business groups. And one of the things that I did, and why I had a pretty good reputation inside that company in the period of time where I was working with the company as a vendor, someone who's selling products into the business, is I would go hand in hand with them and talk with the business group leaders and sometimes the super group leaders, if I remember right. Is that how it was organized? Was it business groups and super groups and that kind of stuff?
I don't remember exactly the terms for it, but very hierarchical.
We'd go through, and we would do this at Jones Farm, and we would do this in Hillsborough, and we would do this in Santa Clara, and we would do it at Folsom. We do it at each of the locations. And what they realized was I was there to help them, enable them. So let's come back to this thing. And I think this is the really powerful piece. And hopefully folks take this away is, look, lean on others to help you become the hero in the thing that you're working on. Guide. Find your guide. Be the hero in your space. Be the guide for some others, right? Like that's this relationship that will continue to evolve that'll help organizations move forward. And that's why I thought this was pretty good. And the other piece that I really liked is how he closed out. Because I agree with that too. Like
that's not changing anytime soon. Can I just tell you, over the last 25 years, how many conversations I've had with different entrepreneurs that have had successful exits and whatnot and all the things. in the education space. And every time I've talked to one that has tried to crack that nut or to do the education thing, every last one of them, and I don't know if there's a little cabal of those folks that have learned to talk about this stuff the same way, but they all said you'll never ever change the education system because at its core, it's an over glorified babysitting service. And there's no learning and education is not even secondary. It's not even tertiary. It's just sort of the ruse pasted on why it exists at this point.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to get in that world and spend the time and energy required to fix it. That's why I've always said that everybody that's like, we got to change our educational system and we got to make it better. And I've always said the only way you make it better is pull out all the customers. If nobody's going, then it has to fall apart. But and until then, it's the machine. We've talked about systems before, and you know how I feel about systems. When systems get to a certain size, they exist just to keep themselves alive. And that particular system has, it only exists to keep itself alive at this point. So that's that.
Yeah. Well, I think I think the cool part about it is he's not saying that it needs to change or he's going to change it or wants to change it or any of those other things. It's we deserve something better. So that's cool. We deserve something better. And for the people who want something better, there are a number of people who've decided homeschooling is the route.
Yep.
Like that's the route. There are more people who are homeschooling. You think about where did the current, I don't know if this is made up or sometimes you hear things over and over again and it becomes true and everybody else thinks it's true and whatever.
Yeah.
Like that. But they say that the Ford had significantly influenced the way that schools work today, the modern school system. Henry Ford had an impact on that. And if you think about it, if that's true, and that might be something where we go a little bit deeper into, maybe we actually have a list of these things that we want to do deeper research into. And
we're going back to the lists now, are we?
Yeah, but I'm not ready for another list. Like I've got that is literally, I have so much crap that is up on that whiteboard right now that I've got to get through. But
I don't even want to put this pressure on Craig either. So if there's anybody out there listening that wants to put together a list for us of all the things we talk about that we should talk about, make that list and remind us at some point.
But so if the, what is that system designed to do? What's the agenda? It may not be your agenda. It may not be designed to actually help you. It may be designed to help somebody else.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, well, and so another case in point is in L&D, right? A lot of people think that, building the compliance training is all about learning, and it's super important that that we don't do click next learning and that all of the compliance stuff. It's like, no, the business need is they have to check a box because a law requires it. And the only way you keep from getting massive fines if something goes haywire is to prove that you trained everybody. And the cheapest, fastest way to do that is to have a cheap and fast way to have a course that automatically checks all the boxes that you can then print out a report and send it to the right people and to the lawyers, and everything is fine. Nobody cares if anybody learns how not to sexually harass their peers. Nobody cares if they've Sarbanes-Oxley the accounting. It just matters that you can prove that they tried to care.
If you happen to work for a public company, take a look at the most recent 10K. The statement that has been put out there about what the company does, where the risks are, what's happened financially. Their annual report, it's public. They have to provide it. In addition to 10K, they also need to provide a filing that shows how executives are compensated. In that filing around how executives are compensated, it also includes the objectives that they have to meet in order to achieve that compensation, like how they're going to be measured. What are the objectives? Back in the day, we call these MBOs. What are the management-based objectives that the executive has to meet? If you know what is stated in the 10K and you know the executive compensation structure, you can get a view on how decisions are going to be made inside that business.
Yes.
It's all there, especially in public organization, in a public entity. And if anybody has a question on how to look at that or how to read that, ask ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok, or send me a direct message and we can have a conversation around how to do it. But like the information's there. It doesn't have to be. It's not a mystery. It's not a mystery.
There are very few actual mysteries in our industry, but before we go, because it's 7:00, we got to roll. I have a 10 a.m. today Pacific time. It's 1 p.m. Eastern time. I'm doing a webinar on teaching and talking through as fast as I possibly can the last 50 years of L&D and why we are the way we are and how we got to where we are today. So hit up my LinkedIn feed if you want to get registered. There's a link there this morning, and you can join us for a fun rapid fire conversation.
Don't miss it. All right, we're wrapped up for the week. We'll see everybody on Monday. If you want to continue the conversation, see some of the back and forth with us in the Slack channel, join a couple of the new folks we've got in there, head to livewithbrentmike.com and we'll get you an invitation to join the Slack channel. If you know somebody that this show would help, either because they just need a better way to start their day or they're bored, send them our way.
And let us know if you want us to talk about anything specific, if you're concerned about anything, or if you have a story that you'd like to share, send it our way. We can get our executive producer to whip up a script and Mike and I will talk about it. All right, everybody. See you next week. Have a great weekend. Adios.